December 18, 2024, dawned clear and crisp, a perfect winter day for a flight. The early morning frost lingered on the grass at Essex Skypark, making the world seem still, as though holding its breath for what was about to unfold. You, having meticulously checked your Cessna 172 the evening before, were eager for a smooth journey. As you climbed into the cockpit, the cold air hit your face, but the warmth of the engine and your anticipation quickly took over. The plane's wings gleamed under the pale sun as you started the pre-flight checklist. The instruments were all in their usual places, and the engine roared to life, breaking the silence of the morning. Essex Skypark traffic, Cessna 905 Alpha, departing runway 16, heading southeast, you called out into the radio, announcing your intentions to anyone in the vicinity. You taxied to the runway, careful to stay steady on the tarmac, the hum of the engine mixing with the soft whisper of the wind. With a final check of your gauges and the airfield around you, you eased the throttle forward. The Cessna's nose lifted smoothly, the small aircraft gaining altitude as the surrounding fields and houses shrank beneath you. The familiar expanse of the Baltimore-Washington area stretched out in front, and as you climbed, you could feel the crisp December air tightening around the wings. The landscape below was still dressed in the muted tones of winter, with bare trees lining the winding roads and the blue-gray expanse of the Chesapeake Bay beginning to appear off to the east. Your route to Bay Bridge Airport, just east of the bay, was straightforward, but the flight was never predictable. You followed your GPS, skimming over the terrain, navigating through the occasional thin clouds that drifted lazily through the cold sky. The visibility was excellent, and the stillness of the air was almost surreal, perfect conditions for a winter flight. As you crossed over the bay, the iconic span of the Bay Bridge rose in front of you, its arches cutting through the thin mist. The gleam of the bridge against the December sunlight was mesmerizing. You circled for a moment, admiring the sight, before making your final approach into Bay Bridge Airport. The landing was smooth, with only a slight gust of wind to remind you of the challenges this time of year can bring. After a brief stop at the airport to stretch your legs and grab a cup of coffee, you prepared for the return flight. The sun was lower in the sky now, casting a golden hue over the water and turning the landscape into a picture-perfect scene. Bay Bridge Airport seemed quieter now, and after a quick check of the weather conditions, you taxied back to the runway. Bay Bridge Airport traffic, Cessna 905 Alpha, departing runway 11, heading west, you radioed in again, ready to retrace your route. With the throttle forward, the plane ascended smoothly into the crisp winter air, heading back toward Essex Skypark. The wind was slightly stronger this time, pushing the Cessna in gentle, rhythmic nudges, but you guided the plane with ease, feeling the calm confidence that only comes from experience. The flight back felt like a peaceful drift through a winter wonderland. The soft glow of the setting sun reflected off the waters below, casting long shadows on the land. It was as if the world slowed down, the only sounds those of the engine and the occasional crackle from the radio. By the time Essex Skypark came into view, the sun had just dipped below the horizon. The airfield lights blinked on, welcoming you back. You began your descent, lining up for the final approach. The Cessna's wheels touched down gently, and as you taxied back to the hangar, a sense of quiet satisfaction settled over you. It had been a perfect flight, one of those rare days when the skies were clear, the winds were calm, and everything fell into place. You had navigated the cold winter skies with the ease of experience, enjoying the still beauty of the world below. As you shut down the engine and stepped out of the plane, you took a deep breath of the cool evening air, grateful for the day's adventure. The flight from Essex Skypark to Bay Bridge Airport and back on December 18, 2024, was a perfect reminder of why you loved flying. Every journey, no matter how short, was an opportunity to experience the world from above.